ask me questions about pricing, about being able to charge high ticket rates. A lot of freelancers ask about why it is that I'm able to charge my clients anywhere from $100,000 to $247,000, and they feel like they see their clients or prospective clients saying no to even average rates and ultimately hiring somebody else. And I wanted to share a little bit today about why some freelancers can charge high ticket. Question for you, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, have you ever felt frustrated when it feels like other people are able to get high ticket clients and maybe you've tried, maybe it's flopped, maybe you haven't tried, it's new to you, it's something you're uncertain about, or you think, okay, well, maybe since the market isn't great, I should reduce my rates? I'm here to share with you five. Okay, I am going to over deliver today. Six. I've got a bonus sixth reason why some freelancers are able to charge high ticket rates. So let's just dive on in. Before we dive in, there's one thing I want to share, and this is super important. This is something everyone needs to know because business and finances, our economic state of our world is cyclical, meaning it's always going to have ebbs and flows. And different markets have different ebbs and flows at different times. But when people ask me, like, should I reduce my rates just because, whether we're going into a recession or something like that is happening in a particular market, the truth is the ultra affluent are not affected in the same ways by those ebbs and flows of a market. And so a lot of times people get this desire to like discount rates or to start offering a budget service. And while that's one strategy, if you want to get clients that will stick with you for months or even years, you're actually going to want to raise your rates so that those clients that are a part of the ultra affluent, those are the clients that are ultimately funding your business. So I want to recommend going high ticket for anyone who wants to last through any economic changes. And we've got some that are coming up for sure. All right. So here are the five reasons. Okay, six. You guys ready for it? Number one, high ticket freelancers, they come in with certainty. Now, this is key because certainty is something that most business owners are looking for. They want to see that someone is confident that they can support potential changes and results. This does not mean that you have to guarantee your work. Let me say that again and drop a yes in the comments or chat. This does not mean that you have to guarantee your work. What this means instead is that you are certain that you are the best person for this role that they're trying to fill. You don't even have to be certain that you can get them results because this is not a certain industry. You're never going to be certain, but you can be certain that you're the one that is going to fill the role best. Now, in case you say, well, Rachel, how do I work on building certainty? Certainty is built through mindset. And I know you've probably heard that buzzword thrown around a lot. You're probably like, I want to close the window right now the second she brings up the word mindset. But I'm here to tell you, I've been through a lot of things through my mind, with my mind. And mindset is probably the single most important part of growth and success. It is not those that have the best products. It is not those who have the best services that keep clients month after month after month, year after year after year. It is those with the most certainty. The person who's the most certain is the most likely to get the sale. So I just want to point that out. It's super important. It's an absolute game changer. Number two, they ask questions. They stay on the offensive. And I'm not meaning like try to offend your clients. What I mean is you do not want to get into the place where there's silence and you wait for them to ask you questions. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes I see most freelancers, even established freelancers, make. They sit back and kind of wait for the client to ask questions when the truth is you want to be the one who's like, let's dive in and have a whole set. We've created an entire set of, we call them 100K discovery call questions because it guides you through each and every step of the process so that you're never sitting there on the defensive and having the client saying, well, show me your portfolio. Have you guys been in this situation before? Show me your portfolio. Who have you done this for before? Tell me a little bit about your credentials. Once the client starts drilling you, it's a complete shift in the energy and they're no longer trusting that you're the professional, but you can guide them through a series of questions to get them to that place where they say, okay, this person knows what they're talking about because they're asking me the right questions. Now, I first learned this when I became a hairstylist. And as a hairstylist, we're not freelancers, but it's kind of like freelancing because you build your own business. And any of the hairstylists who sat back and waited for clients to ask questions would be in a place of almost being behind the whole time and having the client question them and constantly double check every single step in the process, versus the hairstylists that asked questions and guided the conversation and said, what do you think about this? I would like to actually try this. How do you feel about bangs? And they just kept redirecting the conversation in the direction that they wanted to go. Those were the ones that worked with clients for years and ultimately had the best clientele in place. Number 3, they make suggestions. Don't wait for an order. I don't Have you ever been to a restaurant where there was a sommelier? I actually can't really think of an example of when I've been to a restaurant with a sommelier, unless a trip to Spain counts. But you know how sommeliers come to tables and they are wine experts. They've spent their whole lives studying wine, their entire career. And basically they come over and they say, all right, tonight you are having, the salmon and the baked potato. With that, what I recommend is, and then they suggest several different things. And there's kind of a dance that goes on. It's beautiful. They don't come up to the table and say, what would you like? Because that's what a server's role is. Similarly, being a high ticket freelancer requires you to be willing to make suggestions and say, might I suggest this? And you can do it with kindness, but you want to straight up not wait for them to tell you what they want, but instead be listening to what it is that they're saying in response to your questions, and then coming around with suggestions and saying, you're saying this, but I'm also noticing this. Could it be possible that? And those types of interactions transform the dynamic and make clients say, ooh, this person might be worth the high ticket price that they're putting out there. So it's a great way to absolutely change the dynamic. Is this helping so far? I'm willing to bet it is. All right, number 4, they are willing to assess more than just the role that they're being brought in for. Now, this does not mean that you have to over deliver things outside of scope. Instead, what this means is being willing to take a look at the full scope of the business. For example, if I were a website builder, a website designer and developer, or either portion of that, if I were to just build a website based on what the client said they wanted, that's something they could have just bought from a template library. Instead, what you want to do is say, what is your function with this website? Okay, so you said you have these 3 products. Could I actually dive in and see what those products look like? I'd love to actually learn more about your other areas of marketing outside of this, or what type of traffic is going to be sent to this website. And being willing to take a look at the full ecosystem of what it is that you're offering in terms of services, it's going to help the client to see, okay, this person actually cares about me and my business, not just becoming a cog in a machine, because then they could just go to Fiverr or Upwork, and that's not the goal, right? Number 5, they ask for their worth. This is key. I'm going to say it again, and drop a yes in the comments when you hear this, because some of you guys need to hear this. They ask for their worth. Your worth is not simply the work that you're providing in exchange for a monetary value. Your worth in the business is related to the study, the pursuit of excellence, the refinement of your skills, everything that you've put into building who you are and what your expertise is today. So they ask for their worth, and they include multiple tiers in their proposal. This is an absolute game changer. When I started adding the multiple tiers to my proposals, I was blown away with how many clients instantly opted for the most expensive package, even when sometimes the expensive package was one that I didn't yet offer publicly. So sometimes it stretched even my belief in the process. For example, the first time that a client took me up on consulting for $247,000, that was a package that we had put in there in order to make the $117,000 package seem a lot more affordable. But having multiple tiers in your proposal absolutely shifts the entire dynamics and the belief of worth in each and every tier, which is a total game changer. Before we get to bonus 6, by the way, if you want to check out above or below this video, you will see that there is a link to check out my freelancer mastermind and mentorship. You can apply at clickforlife.com. It's also in the bio. All right, bonus number 6, building credibility through proximity to well-known names. Now, this is something I did very early on in my business. It was something I wanted to do. It wasn't that I was chasing fame. it's not that you're ever chasing fame when you're wanting to build proximity to well-known names, but rather it's amazing to be included in a roundup of experts, including people that you admire or look up to. It's an incredible thing to have your name listed on PR or to be featured in the media. And by the way, this does not have to be expensive. It can actually be incredibly cost effective or free. To date, we have spent $0 on PR, yet we consistently get incredible PR mentions, articles, etc., including some of the biggest online publications in the world, which is a game changer. All right, I'm curious to hear from you. What questions do you have about freelancing? Drop them in the comments. My team and I will be checking them out later this week because we are going to be sharing a whole bunch of amazing trainings. And if you don't yet do so, be sure to either like my page or subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'll catch you guys later.